Hello, mamas, and happy full moon in Pisces. It's Friday the 13th, and we're in the sun sign of Virgo. And all of these things come together to make for a powerful and potent portal into our own divinity and our own power, our personal power, and our connection to Source and to the guidance within. Friday being the day of the week that honors Venus, the goddess of femininity and love, and the 13th, 13 being a divine number of the goddess, 13 moons in a year, 13 menstrual cycles for a woman in a year. Day 13 for most women is ovulation in their menstrual cycle. And day 13 or 14 of the lunar cycle is the full moon. And there are many other special attributes to 13, but the most important thing to know is that it's actually a sacred and holy number that honors the feminine, the earth, and our cycles. And with the full moon in Pisces, we have access to the ethereal realms. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the one, the collective. And with this watery sign of Pisces, we have the ability to move and adjust, and that fluidity is very feminine. In the sun sign of Virgo, Virgo is the priestess. Virgo is the ability to manifest, to take the actions, to be focused, to get our ducks in a row. And so tonight, under this powerful and potent harvest moon, we have the ability to tap into this inner guidance and to claim for ourselves a new level of priestesshood, not because of something that we've earned necessarily, but because of who we are and the right to have that deep connection with Source, to access that inner knowing, is a divine birthright. I'm going to sage, and I invite you to breathe this in along with me. If you have some sage, then you can burn some sage too. My intention for this is to be a brief meditation, just an opportunity to immerse ourselves in this gift celestially, this special time. So cleansing ourselves, cleansing mind, body, and spirit, preparing to commune with that divine within, this powerful goddess energy tonight. Burn some Palo Santo also, an acknowledgement of this holy day. Of course, any day that we acknowledge as holy is holy. And taking a moment now to call in the directions, different energies to come and support us in this ritual. Calling in the earth, the north, the foundation, the solid ground, Pachamama. Please come support us in this ritual, this meditation, to connect deeply with you, with the Shakti energy, to have solid footing. Thank you. Calling in the winds of the east, the breath of life, the springtime and the ability to begin anew, a breath of fresh air. Please come be with us. Thank you. Calling in the south, the fire, the transmutation of energy, our sense of self, our confidence, the city of jewels. Burning down anything that no longer serves us or allows us to serve from a place of fullness, burning that back to the ground, bringing it down into the ashes again to be absorbed. Calling in the fires of the south, please come be with us. Thank you. Calling in the waters of the west, the womb space, the salty liquid from which all life emerged on this planet, the ability to move and adjust our emotions, helping us to go with the flow. Please come be with us. Thank you. And tonight, calling upon Ishel, medicine woman, goddess of the midwives, midwife goddess, the Aztecs. Please come be with us and assist us in rebirthing ourselves tonight, opening ourselves as women open the womb space, the yoni space, to release. Thank you. I'm a home birth midwife, and I had a loss in my practice a little over 3 years ago. And this happened right before I was scheduled to go on my honeymoon. And we were going on a cruise, and so we went on the cruise, and I was really doubting my abilities. I was wondering if I was meant to be a midwife. I had had all these signs that I was, and I had trusted that all of those years. And then I wondered if I could survive, if I ever had another loss, and if I was willing to risk that. And on the cruise ship, there were excursions that we could go on, and we were looking at excursions, and one of them was listed as Ex-Cacao, who was the Mayan goddess of chocolate. And I thought, that sounds really lovely. So I had, been struggling so much with all of these emotions and all the pain and grief and feeling very broken. And I thought, that sounds like a great excursion to go to see the temple, what remains of the temple of the goddess of chocolate. So we booked the excursion and made our way out there and on the tour bus, and everybody was talking about chocolate, and we arrived at the location, and we walked up to the temple, and there's just the remains, the stones that had been laid there so many years ago, the remnants of that. And the tour guide who was there at the place came up and stood in front of us and said, "Welcome to the temple of Ishel, the goddess of midwifery. And I lost it. Just was in complete surrender, and it started raining and I was crying, and it was such a beautiful release and such a beautiful confirmation that there is pain and there is death and birth and rebirth, and it's all part of the one. And so that was an opportunity for me to realize that sometimes I have to just surrender. And when things get so overwhelming that I think I can't go forward anymore, that's when I need to go inward and trust that I am led, and that Source, Spirit, Goddess has my best interest in my personal growth and learning, and my ability to learn about love at heart. And that's all I can do. So I thought we could call upon Ishel tonight. So this medicine woman, you can see what you notice from this particular image. If I can sharpen that for you. This is one artist's interpretation of her. And she's the Mayan goddess of midwifery, birth. She's portrayed a little bit differently here. And this card has release as the energy of Ishel. And with this one, with Medicine Woman, it says, you are a channel for divine healing power. So Ishel came to me in a time when I felt very broken, and then I felt very guided after she visited. And as I looked around in this temple and saw the places where the women would come, hundreds of miles they would trek there to be blessed for fertility. Those who were local would go there to give birth, and there were no sacrifices there. No human lives were sacrificed there. It was a sacred space that was focused on birth. And in this time, there's so much that we're given from the outside telling us that we need to rely on the outside for guidance. Whether that's through religion or through the media, telling us that we're okay, if we purchase this thing, or we wear this thing, or we look a certain way, or, in social media, comparing ourselves to other people and seeing the highlight reel, and wondering why we don't measure up. And even seeing multiple people's social media and putting that all together as this concept of the ideal mother, and constantly comparing ourselves to that made-up image and always feeling like we're falling short, not knowing what to do with our children and looking to external sources for that. It's not that isn't a valid way to be, or that there isn't beauty and incredible learning from that. We have the ability to be high priestess of ourselves, claiming for ourselves that divine authority, which is actually unquestionable, to be able to tap in direct with Source. And so I'm going to guide us now in a brief meditation to tune into that and to see what on this amazing Friday the 13th full moon in Pisces and the sun sign of Virgo, what is available for us. So I invite you to close your eyes and take in a nice deep breath. Release it out with a sigh. Do that a couple more times. And I invite you, noticing the darkness now behind your eyelids, feeling into the fact that this is time that you have set aside for yourself to tune in, to take note, and to receive. Acknowledging that here in this time and space, there is no one asking you any questions. There is nothing in particular that you need to do, nothing that you need to say, nothing that you need to figure out. And there's nowhere that you need to go because you have already arrived. And that in this time and space, you have permission to just be. Allowing yourself to sink down onto the surface beneath you. Allowing your tailbone to root down into the ground if you're sitting up. And allowing the crown of your head to reach up towards the heaven, bringing yourself into a regal posture. And if you're laying down, allowing your entire body to melt down, feeling completely held and supported by Mother Earth. And allowing a vision to form in your mind's eye. A beautiful cave. This cave lit by a fire in the center. And you can see the flames on the walls of the cave. The entrance to this cave shaped like the opening of a yoni. And as you feel called to enter into this yoni cave, sit down by the fire. You notice a presence, a powerful, loving, wise presence, beginning to walk towards you and sitting down now across from you on the other side of the fire. And it is Goddess Ishel, the Mayan goddess of midwifery, birth. And she is here to tell you that you are worthy. On this auspicious day, there is opportunity now for rebirth. And as you hear the fire crackle, feeling into the presence of this powerful goddess, you know that her words are true. You've been waiting for this. And you're not going to waste this opportunity. All beings have access to this. It's just a matter of awakening perception. And here Ishel offers you an opportunity. She invites you to place your hands over your womb space, to feel into the powerful, creative center. And she lets you know that This is fertile ground. It doesn't matter what you've heard. It doesn't matter what people have said. What matters is the truth. That this creative space is yours. And it is filled with limitless potential. This potentiality, this potency can never be diminished because it is direct access to divinity. And she lets you know that here on this divine night, there is opportunity for you to plant a new seed of intention. But in order to make space to plant this new seed, you must give something up first. She invites you to keep your left hand on your womb space and to offer your right hand and to allow to spill from the palm of your hand whatever it is that you are releasing down to the ground as an offering to her. Releasing this now, whatever the blocks, to acknowledging your own direct connection to Source, allowing this to spill forth through the palm of your hand, down from your body, down your arm, out through the palm of your hand, spilling onto the ground now as an offering. And you can notice what has emerged. No need to make sense of it. Noticing for you to be looking at this later. Just noticing for now what has emerged. Allowing it to be what it is. And now feeling a release, feeling this pouring out onto the ground, pouring out now, whatever this is, falling to the ground, being tugged and pulled now by gravity. Mother Earth has got a hold of it, bringing it down and out as you release and surrender. Release and surrender. Feeling a pulsing now in the palm of your hand. And as the last little bits, the last drops of this fall to the earth, feeling a freedom and a lightness now, she invites you now once again to bring the palm of your hand to cover your left hand over your womb space. Now with a sense of peace and freedom, a clearing that has been created, she invites you to notice what it is that you are ready to birth. What is it that you are ready to gestate, to grow? Allowing yourself to receive this message, to plant this seed in this fertile ground of limitless possibility. In your wildest imagination, what is it? And allow it to come in. Allow it to be powerful and big. Noticing the beauty of this tiny little seed. Remembering the majesty of the oak tree growing from that tiny little acorn. Planting this seed in fertile ground. Feeling gratitude. Gratitude for its growing. Promising this seed that you will water it, that you will feed it and nourish it with attention, with care, pulling the weeds when necessary, allowing the space for the sun to shine on this beautiful seed, to pull forth the growth from the earth, the rain to fall to quench its thirst, allowing the emotions to move through. And once you've planted this seed, you can feel it beginning to root already. This powerful potency of this beautiful womb space. Already this intention is rooting down. You feel a fullness in your womb space. Naming this intention as best as you can. And beginning to feel your womb space expanding just a little bit. The energy of this new life, this new growth. And Ishal now encourages you to place your hands over your heart, to feel into the power and potency of this space as well, love. And she tells you that she's come here to assist you in this growth, in this birth process, in this fertility process, and also as a guide. And now you can ask her your question. You already know what it is. Asking her this question now. And receiving your answer. And now, offering gratitude to Goddess Ishel. She lets you know that she will be here for you as you continue gestating this. And she'll be with you as you birth this intention, knowing that it takes time, knowing that you have the ability to take the actions necessary to allow this to bear fruit. And that when times are hard, all you need do is trust. You can call on her, and she'll be there to midwife you through it. You're never alone. And now, allowing for any parting words as Ishel begins to ascend. And feeling that connection with her, that connection with your heart and your womb space, the connection with the seed of intention, and with your own potency, the divine priestess within, your own abilities, the medicine woman, who you are for you. Sitting alone now in this yoni cave, but feeling so connected. Feeling the women in your lineage, many generations back, many generations forward, feeling their energy pulsing through your veins, feeling deep connection with Source. When you're ready, taking in a nice deep breath. You can allow your eyes to gently open, continuing to feel this deep connection to self, to the goddess, to your body, to your lineage, to one another. Feeling the vibration of connection. Know that you can trust this. This is your divine birthright. You are a priestess. You are a medicine woman. Namaste. If you'd like to share what your seed of intention was that you planted tonight, one secret of manifesting is that the more you share it, the more potency you add to it. And as we witness each other in doing this divine manifesting, it inspires each of us. So please share, and as you're reading through women's intentions here in the comments, I invite you to hold just an extra 30 seconds for each of them, just seeing them come true. Really feeling into how these intentions are rooted in peace on earth, ultimately. Each of these things, when you get down to the heart of the matter of what has inspired us to want to create this, it's love, it's connection, it's our own growth and understanding of love. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being in my sisterhood. Thank you for witnessing me and holding space for me as well. This is fulfilling in my dharma, doing this work, and I have immense gratitude. So thank you so much. And if you're local, we have events that we do every month. Tomorrow is our exploration of the wild woman archetype. That event is sold out, but if you'd like for us to say your name in circle, feel free to put it in a comment here, and we'll be happy to draw you in to be with us. We have a retreat coming up in October, which is Mystical Mama, a deep dive into the esoteric arts. That retreat is also sold out, but we are doing that retreat again next October, the end of October, as a part of Magical Mama Tribe. And Magical Mama Tribe is a year-long commitment that you make, and we get together with other tribe members once a month in person to do an exploration of something in the esoteric arts, like herbal medicine making, astrology, making ritual candles. We also dance. We learn goddess chants. There's so much. In the summertime, we do a leadership immersion. This is our first time doing a leadership immersion just for mothers. And we have 2 retreats, one that's in the spring at the spring equinox, which is a leadership retreat just for moms. And then we have our Mystical Mama in October, which is a residential retreat in Payson. And all this information you can find. I'm new to Instagram, so you can find it in our profile. I think maybe that's what it's called, I'm not sure. But there's a link there, so you can peruse all of the gatherings that we're doing. In addition to the in-person gatherings, we have 2 Zoom calls each month, one that's focusing on what our immersion is. So for instance, our first immersion for the first 5 months is into goddess archetypes. So we'll talk about different goddess archetypes and be sharing myths with one another. And the second call is a personal call where we're holding space for one another. It's an opportunity to be heard, to be really truly listened to get things off your chest, your heart space, with other women without any judgment. And we share things with one another that sometimes we don't share with anybody else in the world, because it is such a sacred and safe space. There's so much that I could get into. If you're feeling called, I invite you to look around a little bit. Tribe membership closes for the public at the end of this moon cycle, which is September 27th. So it's been a joy. I would love to see what your intentions are, and also if you would like to share what Ishel had to say to you. If you asked her for advice, whatever your question was and whatever her answer was, it'd be beautiful to get to witness you and your connection with her as well. So, closing circle and thanking all the directions. Thank you so much to Ishel for being with us tonight, for guiding us now and always. And as we continue forward with this seed of intention and weeding the garden to be here for us. So, blessed, blessed, blessed full moon, and all my love.